Hi guys, my name is Gerald from Trading Waves. Welcome to today's short video. In today's short video, we're going to be taking a look at New Zealand and Swiss franc. Okay, before we look at the actual chart itself, we're just going to look at the historical forecast of New Zealand Swiss franc from about May the 4th. So as we can see, we have a chart here from May the 4th, where we were forecasting that in New Zealand Swiss franc, we should be seeing from this peak a diagonal, at least of some sort, and a bounce higher. The diagonal would be a green wave 1 or a minute 1, and a bounce for a minute 2 before we see a move to the downside. Okay, that's the forecast from May the 4th. We see that the forecast from June the 7th shows that we indeed got the diagonal itself. We got the diagonal itself from here. We got the bounce higher in 2, then we were within 3. And within 3 itself here, we had 5 waves lower for 1 in white within 3. And then we were expecting that from this price point, we're going to get a push higher, but not above that level there, just a push higher before we see a move to the downside. That's a forecast from this 7th of June. And as we can see now from this forecast here, which was recent from the 18th of June, indeed, we did get that move higher, stayed below the peak of wave 2 in the green degree or the start of wave 1 in white. And then we see this move to the downside. And this is about where we currently are. Okay, so now onto the live chart. You can see that the move indeed as forecasted has happened, or the moves that were forecasted since May have all happened. All right, so let's just look at some of what may have possibly been a consideration. We see this move to the upside, it looks sharp, and then we see without the labels, if one takes off the labels, and then we see this move here that looks pretty choppy, and one may have mistaken this very easily for a corrective move for more upside. Then one may have started considering buying from about this level or about that low there, thinking that this is a correction, this is a sharp move that shows possibility for upside. So ordinarily one would have thought of it that way, but we don't quite look at things that way necessarily, because we look at the Elliott wave path. So each one of the charts that we analyze has a path. When we see this, the path will guide us whether to expect a correction or an impulse or a leading diagonal such as this one, hence the forecast that was made in May in anticipation of a leading diagonal lower. Going back to the chart from May the 4th, if one looks at this section of the chart, this looks like a corrective structure from this peak. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you see that, you might think this is a WXY and you want to buy for more upside. Even though we could see that this was 333, we were not anticipating this move, but we were anticipating that move there. And that's why we said this has to be a diagonal. The probability is much higher than this, that this is a diagonal. And the probability that this was a corrective structure was approaching 0. In other words, very low probability that that was a correction. We saw this from as far back as May the 4th. Now we are within wave 3 in green, lower. It's much clearer now that we are indeed within wave 3 in green, lower, and we'll be looking to sell, and only to sell, right? Two things. Firstly, how do we arrive at this conclusion that even though we can see that this is corrective, but we believe that this is actually a move to the downside in effect or starting, and we don't expect a move to the upside? That's the first question you would ask yourself. Secondly is, how do we then now trade this move lower? Now, to answer those two questions, I would like to invite you to consider joining our family by visiting our website, which is appearing on your screen currently. We have offerings, quite a variety of offerings, a wide range of offerings, which would include lessons on how to answer the questions which I've just posted, two questions that I've just posed, because it boils down to, as I said, the path or the sequence within the path, and also the strategies which we use to enter trades whenever we have established the path. Right, so I hope you guys will enjoy this short video. We hope to be welcoming you to the family, and have a great day. Cheers.